Hello and welcome today to a video where we are going to be checking out what can be done with the Switch 2. So I'm going to be playing around with some accessories and some things and just seeing what is possible with Switch 2 basically. That is the whole idea of this video. We're going to look at sort of the camera, we're going to look at microphone stuff, we're going to look at previous generation JoyCons. We're going to be playing a lot around in the settings for this stuff. First things first. This is something I actually did do on the unboxing, is that I have here my first generation Switch Pro controller. This is not the second one, this is the first generation. So I've actually already plugged this in to the dock, but now that it's been done once, I should just be able to then activate this and it should work. I say that, it immediately doesn't work. We'll go into controllers. Here we go. Right, so now that we're in controllers, we can see that clearly the Switch 1 controller does indeed work. Now, this is something I also saw the other day, is if I go onto pairing and look at other pairing modes, you'll see here that there is clearly an image which is a Joy-Con. Now, I assumed, first of all, that was the old style Joy-Con, but it's actually not the old style Joy-Con. Clearly, with a new style Joy-Con, one of these ones, the easiest, quickest way to pair one of these is just to slide it onto the actual Switch itself to click it in. I'm not sure. I'm assuming. I think this is the case, but we're going to check today because that's all what today's video is about. I'm going to check that you can just use the sync button like it's saying and pair a old Joy-Con, a Joy-Con 1 for the Switch 1 with the Switch 2, because that would be ideal if that is the case. And I do think that is the case. So we're going to test that right now. Grab hold of my original Switch, my OG Switch. I do love the pink and green that I went with this one. Already it's confusing me because I tried to do the thing. I tried to like push the button to pull it out, not do the sliding. So here we have my Switch 1 Joy-Con. Right, we'll go back here. Right, so if we search for controllers, am I supposed to hold the pair button? Okay, so how to pair a controller. Right, yes, that's the easiest way to do it. Right, pairing controllers wirelessly. Okay, well that clearly has paired. There we go. So yes, you can indeed use the original Switch Joy-Cons on your Switch 2, and you can play, you know, Mario Kart or whatever you would play with your original Joy-Cons. Now that's very nice. Like that. It means we don't have to buy new Joy-Cons. They are nice and they are bigger and I do like them a lot. This one is significantly bigger. It's got, the buttons are easier to press on top. They're not these tiny little ones anymore. I do like the new Joy-Cons, but it's good that we can still use our old ones. It means that we don't all have to go out there and buy a bunch of new controllers for family and people to play. Step one, very good. Like that a lot. Right. Other accessories. So we've been through controllers. Now, in terms of other accessories, there's the mouse movement that we can do with the new Joy-Cons. So if I take, for example, if I take this orange one back off this controller again, if I then like do this, you'll see that the mouse has turned up. It's not an ideal way to use the mouse controls, but this is how we can do it. So you can see that this is how this does this. The likelihood that we can just plug a mouse into this and it work is, I would say, slim to none, but we're going to try it. So here, where is it? Here, I just have a standard, bog standard USB mouse. We're going to give this a go and try and plug this into the dock and see if it works as a mouse. All right. It's lit up, which means there's power going to it, but yeah, you're not going to be able to just plug a mouse in like this. It's not happy about that. Now, I wonder, this has made me think, now this is just plugged into the dock. So I wonder if we plugged it directly into the USB-C of the Switch, whether that would work. Because the top USB-C of the Switch is where you plug in your camera, like the actual Switch camera. And don't worry, we'll be looking at cameras in a minute. But I wonder if we plugged it into that via like an adapter, whether that would work. I don't think I have an adapter for that, which is very annoying. I'm just like scouting over my desk and everywhere now. Anyway, right, so we'll move on from that. Maybe that is something I'll need to get an adapter and try. I'll have another look, and if I find one, I'll put it in. That's in terms of controls. Now, in terms of other things that the Switch 2 can do, let's go into the fact that we can use a camera. Now, I do have the Switch camera, the actual genuine one that, you know, they advertised and you can buy from Nintendo. This is the camera. It's absolutely small. It's ridiculously tiny. So we'll go over to settings. And if we go down to controllers and accessories, we can go down here to test USB-C camera. So if we go on here, we'll see that the camera is currently not yet connected because I haven't actually plugged it in, but I have the cable plugged in. And if I just grab the cable, and we should see A camera is connected. Okie dokie. So this is the camera. This is what the camera looks like. This is the genuine Nintendo one. Now we can swizzle the thing. This is what the camera looks like. Hello, camera. Hello, Nintendo Switch camera. This is what the camera looks like. The actual proper Nintendo one. Now, there are some third-party ones out there that have been, you know, like confirmed to work with the Switch 2. There's that really cool Piranha Plant one, which looks awesome. But it did make me think, can we just make a different camera work? Can we use other USB cameras? So I have a selection of cameras here for us to try. This little one. We've got this one. This Logitech one. I don't know if I have any more cameras about. I think that's all the cameras. Hang on, there might be a camera under here. Let me check under my desk for a sec. There's this Logitech camera. Okay, so we have a bunch of cameras to test. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to unplug the camera and plug in a new camera. So we're going to start with this one. These are both USB-C cameras. Like, I can just plug the same cable in. So I'm assuming the same cable will work. So we'll try that. Camera has been disconnected, you can see. So let's try first with this little guy. Obsbot Meet SE. Right, it's plugged in. You can see the light is flickering. Haven't seen anything come up to say a camera is connected. Oh, it said USB microphone. So we're using the microphone of the camera, but not the camera. Okay, right. Well, okay. That clearly did not work. Clearly not a great start for cameras. Now, I understand a lot of these they sort of need their own software, firmware and stuff when you plug them into a PC. So I'm not really expecting them to work, but it's just interesting to find out. This one is now also plugged in. This one has a gimbal on it. So it will kind of like face me-ish and it will sort of stay. Now, yeah, again, USB microphone. Now, these are both OBSBots. Unfortunately, these don't seem to work. Okay, so we have this very old Logitech camera, which is very old. Now, this doesn't have USB-C, which again means we're going to have to plug it into the dock, which I'm not sure is going to work because of the whole issue we just had with the mouse. But we'll try. Oh, it does work! It totally does work! Oh, that's sick! Oh, that is a surprise. Okay, well, here we go. I found a great use for your old Logitech webcams, everybody. You can use them with the Switch. This actually looks pretty good. It's not a bad looking camera. Logitech, that's one for you guys. That just plugs and plays. That just works. Okay, cool. Well, I found a new use case for this Logitech camera. I'm going to keep this around because this can stay in the office. I can take the actual Switch one home, but this one can stay in the office and be a cool little Switch 2 camera if I ever need one for any purpose in content recording. Let's unplug that. That also does go to disprove my theory about the mouse not working because it's not plugged into the Switch, because this camera, it plugged straight in and it worked. Onto another Logitech camera, a more modern one. This is the Stream Cam. This is USB-C, but now I mean, I can just plug this. I've got these adapters that I just found a minute ago. So what if we just try it with an adapter in the dock? It's in. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, this is a strange one. Because it's working, but it's hella zoomed. And where's the focus point? Okay, so it wants to focus here on my eyeball. This is the focus point. I'm holding this close to my face. Yeah, so this one doesn't really work. I'm now pointing it at my screen. Yeah, this one, too zoomed in. But the other Logitech, the older Logitech, that worked really well. Yes-ish. Definite yes. The OBSBots are a no, they didn't work. We could try this. We could try the Osmo Pocket 3. So this is my Osmo Pocket 3. And you can use this as a webcam. I, in fact, did do that for the unboxing that I did of the Switch 2. We can try and plug this in and see if it lets us choose it as a webcam. Playback inactive. What was that? Okay, maybe it thinks it's a speaker. Well, it didn't work as a camera, so we've learned that, I guess. Stranger than I expected it to be. It's throwing up things every now and again that you're kind of surprised by. Right. That's all the cameras I have, I believe. Now, the fact that it brought up USB microphone makes me think maybe we can plug in a USB microphone. So let's find where on earth we can test that. Audio, test output, test input. Test microphone. Okay, so let's do a start recording. Hello, hello, testing, testing. Hello, hello. Oh, I have to record for 5 seconds. I guess I'll keep speaking.
Hello, hello, testing, testing. Hello, hello. I have to record for 5 seconds.
Okay, so that's the microphone that's built into the top of the Switch. That makes sense. Now, it said USB. This is a USB microphone I happen to have right next to me. So plug this in. Oh my god, it even knows its name. It knows it's the Fifine. Hello, testing, testing. This is the Fifine microphone on the Switch 2. Let's see if it works.
Hello, testing, testing. This is the Fifine microphone on the Switch 2.
It works! So, yes, you can use a USB microphone, like this one, or like one of the newer Shures. My Shure SM7B that I'm using, sadly, is not a USB microphone, but I'm sure... could I put my whole mixer into the Switch 2? Can I use a Shure SM7B on my Switch 2 to have the best microphone quality you've ever heard on a console? It feels like it needs to be done. Give my brain 4 seconds for me to figure out what the flip I'm doing. Right. What am I doing? I have here a Focusrite. Focusrite 2i2. Is that what it's called? Yeah, 2i2. This is an audio interface. So theoretically, we'll see if this notices a microphone. Okay, so that's immediately realised that... Okay. Right, so now the audio is coming through. You can hear me via this. This is the Osmo. So I'm going to unplug my SM7B. I'm going to plug it into the Focusrite that I have here, which I can actually show you. It's just here. I'm going to plug that in there. And then we'll see if we can get a Shure SM7B working on the Switch 2, which is entirely pointless, but a fun exercise nonetheless. Here we go, right. So theoretically, that's working. Hello, testing, testing. This is using a Shure SM7B on the Switch 2. Hello, testing, testing. This is using a Shure SM7B on the Switch 2. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. Okay, so you could really like set up for like a really good audio. I don't know why I'm still talking into this. I know that that's there. Everything's all a big mess right now. Okay, I'm gonna put my microphone back into my computer, but yes, you can indeed use an audio interface into the Switch 2 to have the best possible audio you want. One more thing that I do actually want to check is I want to test, because this was a theory that was in my theory video before the Switch 2 launched, and a theory that I'd heard and some people were concerned about, is that you wouldn't be able to play any Switch games offline. They were all had to be online. I'm going to take my Switch 2 and I'm going to get it out of range of Wi-Fi, and I'm going to try and play just a Mario Kart Grand Prix. Just a Grand Prix, just single player, not online. We're just going to try it and see if that works. So I will bring the camera and we shall check if that is the case. I'm outside with my Switch 2, out of range of the Wi-Fi, and so I will spin the camera around. Alright, hopefully you can see it says not connected. We're not connected to any internet, and now I'm going to attempt to play Mario Kart. Yep, we're playing. It's happening. There we go. Not connected to the internet, playing Mario Kart. Well, there we go everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you did. If you have any more ideas that you'd like to see in a second video of this, please do let me know. I'd love to hear it. It's always fun experimenting and doing this weird random stuff and seeing if it works. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.